Everybody. So my name's Eric Parsons. I'm here to present HOA Messenger. And our mission is to help homeowners associations solve everyday HOA problems. Cindy, she's the treasurer of her homeowners association. She's responsible for things like collecting homeowners association dues, for paying vendors like their landscaper or their full service professional, and she needs to keep track of all this, like who's paid, what invoices have been paid, what invoices haven't been paid, and people like her a lot of times keep track of all this stuff in an Excel spreadsheet or various email threads, and it's sort of disorganized. And she works with a board of directors whose secretary posts meeting notices or community notifications on places like their community mailbox. And when they prepare for the meetings, everything is kind of disheveled and not in a centralized location. And so what we're doing is we're making a platform, HOA Messenger, where residents can pay their dues, see how much they owe. Cindy can track homeowner payments in a centralized database on the cloud, where she can pay vendor invoices, see what invoices paid. She can actually do bookkeeping to keep track of their books, kind of like QuickBooks, place where residents can submit maintenance requests and send to vendors, and they can track whether they're complete, pending, when they're going to be scheduled and when they're complete. Where you can actually communicate with residents, send out blast notifications instead of having to post paper notices on a bulletin board or what have you. A calendar for the community to, similar like a bulletin board, they can check and see when the next meeting is or when the next social event might take place. Residents can schedule amenities like a tennis court if they want to go, book a time for 4 or 5 people for a certain time. They can book it online. They don't have to organize this. It can all be automated. And then, if there's certain violation tracking, if a neighbor's grass is growing and they need to take a picture and keep track of these things, again, a centralized way to track all these items involved in the administration of a homeowner association without having to keep it on your personal computer or have it in different computers from the different board members. And also a place to manage documents. And we actually, for various types of communication that still require, for compliance reason, to be sent in the US mail. And so we actually do that as well. And the best part is all of this can be accessed in a matter of minutes instead of days or weeks. So similar to the way you can create a Facebook group, you can access these services through HOA Messenger. So where we fit in the mix is our direct competition has a enterprise sales driven top down approach. They want to go to the management companies and sell their CEO on these services, whereas we want to go to the smaller associations who are mainly managing themselves, but they need support and guidance and a centralized, we have the tools that the direct competition has, but 90% of associations don't need all the little bells and whistles. They just need a easy to use, low cost solution, and that's where we fit in. And we're a mix between, we also indirectly compete with Facebook and Nextdoor. So we're kind of trying to create a hybrid scenario. So it's a big market. you know, there's over $100 billion in HOA fees that go into this industry. We believe that the addressable market is 6.9 billion from a software standpoint. And right now, we make most of our revenue off of transactions. So, you know, when homeowners pay their HOA fee, you know, we take a small percentage. We also just rolled out our bookkeeping software. It's like QuickBooks for HOAs for $19 a month. And we'll even do your back end bookkeeping service for $199 a month. Feature we're looking at maybe incorporating some marketing, affiliate marketing, and vendor lead gen for you know, contractors looking for. And just myself and Rajesh right now, you know, making this happen. I actually grew up in the community management industry, so that's where, you know, that's where the idea came from. And Rajesh works. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I have a have a software development background. So, you know, we got together at a place just like 1 Million Cups, and we met each other, and we've been working for the last 4 or 5 years together. So it's been a nice journey.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, and we're here to, you know, tell you what we're up to and listen to any feedback. We'd appreciate it. I created a 1 Million Cups HOA if you want to join, and you can submit feedback if you'd like. We're all ears. So thank you so much. And are there any questions?
Awesome. Thank you.
More of a comment than a question. I sit on our condominiums HOA,
Mhm.
and the last thing I want is people who are residents getting on an app and then blasting us with their complaints, their problems, their bitches, whatnot. Is there a way to shut that section off and only have this for HOA members and management?
So you can't specifically shut off the messaging, but the messaging isn't like an open free-for-all. It's just direct one-to-one.
Okay,
So if they have a question, they can contact you or the board, but they can't air their dirty laundry to the entire community.
Well, don't blow up your doors.
that was just blow up my phone, bitch about things, and I
Yeah.
don't want any of that. I don't even want to talk to them.
Okay, yeah.
Let
So
alone have a direct line to me to bitch about things.
there is an autoresponder that you can set up to say,
Leave me alone.
yeah, or you know, something along those lines.
In other words, that might be a great toggle to put in there to disable the messaging.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Is the messaging coming through the app only, or is it coming to your own messaging?
So we have an in-app messaging like push notifications, which is free, but there's also an option to do SMS.
Okay.
For 3 cents a message.
There's some things that, nice presentation. There were some things that I was hoping to see. Number one, well, maybe not necessarily in this order, but for one thing, how many, you know, how many customers do you have? How many installs, things like that? I didn't see that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we have about 200 active HOAs. A majority of them are in Florida, and so that's why we're here. And you know, we're doing about $1,000 in revenue right now.
Okay, and then the other thing was, so you've got 200, you said?
Yeah.
200 HOAs that we've already got.
Yeah, so
right?
we have.
So that's well, you still you need to monetize them a little bit better, because $1,000 a month isn't,
Correct.
200 is
Correct.
50 cents each, or
Yeah.
$5 each. The other thing was on your competitive slide. You're familiar with the quadrant?
Yes.
Okay, I would come up with that,
Okay.
right? And, you know, make yourself. But you have to come up with 2 values,
Mhm.
which leads me to the third thing, which is you're very product based
Mhm.
focused, but I didn't really hear much of the value that you're providing. Because people don't buy your products, your features and benefits, they buy the value that you're providing.
Mhm.
Which is, are you saving them time, are you saving them money, and are you helping make their life better? I'm assuming, from what I gather, you're doing all 3, but that wasn't clear.
Okay.
Okay, and if you implement something like that into, or insert something like that into your presentation, I think you'll have a much better response rate.
Okay.
Okay.
This is Alan. I have a couple of questions if I can interrupt.
Okay, sure.
The first one is let you know that 2 weeks ago I was elected to the board of directors of my HOA. So if you give me a note, I'll do some evaluation and get you over there. Second thing though, you said that your revenue is dependent upon taking a percentage of the HOA payments. What kind of response have you gotten from HOAs where you're taking something that they were supposed to get?
So we do have a subscription model for the bookkeeping software. It's just right now, it's where most of our revenue is from payments, and what the percentage cut we get is added to their base fee. And so they get, let's just say that the HOA fee is $100. The resident would end up paying about $107. So the HOA still gets, what they're asking for.
And they don't mind you getting a little bit more from the consumer. Okay. I'd like to pass that by my HOA and see what we can do. I know the problems. One of the reasons I got elected to my HOA to be on the board was because I have so many big problems. They thought I could help. So I'd love to be able to have a chat with you after this and get you over to our HOA. Hey, thank you.
To scan
Awesome.
their QR code from the presentation, that'll take you to their app and get it all downloaded, and you can start working on it that way before you
Great.
meet with them.
Yep. Perfect.
Awesome, appreciate it. I'll touch base.
Josh?
Is there anything like IP here that you have, or is this just a kind of a first to market marketing play? And then relatedly, what is your exit strategy?
So it's, there's really no IP. It's just, trying to execute better than the competition from a different angle, going bottom up instead of top down. And then the exit strategy is, we're,
What would you like it to be?
we want to ring the bell. We think there's a big enough market where that's like, a realistic, there's publicly traded HOA software companies now. Why can't there be another one? But we're open to offers, I guess. We'll have to consider them.
Jim, you had a question?
Yeah, a couple. I am the president of our board and secretary and treasurer and all of that fun stuff.
Mhm.
But in this particular community, we had about a $4 million a year, revenue that was coming in multifaceted restaurant, golf course. On that, what is a typical type of HOA? In this case, this had we brought in our own general manager and hired our own staff. We did not have an outside team coming in.
Mhm.
So what's kind of an ideal HOA? Are you looking for something that's being run strictly by the board of directors without a management team? I mean, what are you looking for?
Sure. Yeah, our beachhead is like small little communities that don't, maybe have a $300,000 budget, with,
How many homeowners?
it could range anywhere from 4 to a couple of hundred. And and small management companies. So like mom and pop style management companies that are, a lot of them currently use QuickBooks. And it's to provide, an HOA specific option instead of, kind of a workaround, like I think QuickBooks is for homeowners association. So, and then expand our user base over time with additional features as we grow.
That does bring up another thing, though, that you had on your competition. You had some direct competitors, but I know you've got many direct competitors that are basically management companies for HOAs, right?
Correct. I
We
mean,
had one in our 48 home community.
the management companies is also a potential customer. Because so we have a handful that, because you can manage multiple associations on our platform.
Right.
So if you have managed 10 HOAs, you can manage all 10 through the centralized database.
Steve?
So I don't know the answer to this. When you are transmitting emails back and forth and there's a thread of emails that can be saved or reviewed, do you have to do it through email, or is there a way that you could, I'm thinking like for approvals? The email streams between our associates are just incredible, right?
Mhm.
Somebody replies and all of a sudden you get another thread, it's just back and forth. I think it'd be really cool if somebody needed approval for something, that you hit a button and it goes out to all the board members. And then there's one piece of paper that we're approving to, and you just hit the approve button and it comes back, says Steve approved, Carol approved, whoever that is. Is that capability on your platform?
Not for that specific use case, no.
For example, if there's a bill that, needs to get approved by 4 or 5 people, so we have a workflow for that bill. So a bill gets opened and 4 people have to approve that. So we have an automatic signing system through through HelloSign. And after 4 people sign that bill gets paid automatically, and you don't have
So
any.
it does reduce email stream.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But we have defined the use cases like for violations, bills. What else do we have?
For jobs,
Jobs.
like for the
Maintenance
contractors.
requests, yeah.
So like,
So, and maintenance request talks between 3 people, the manager, the vendor, and also the resident. So all 3 of them get statuses at, if you look at the dashboard of the app, so you have statuses for each of these use cases. But if you're just sending random emails, we don't have a way to consolidate them like in a forum style.
Well, that's the thing, you
approach.
could eliminate all these random emails, right? And they would be
Right.
specifically
Mhm.
focused emails.
Yeah.
So I'm not sitting here having to read somebody's opinion about something that doesn't matter.
yes, so like, a specific use case, like for jobs, like if you send a job, fix a light bulb to your electrician, you can send a work order, the electrician can accept it. That notifies, all the parties, whoever reported it can get an update on when it's scheduled and when it's complete. And so in terms of updating people, and not having to respond to, hey, what's the status on this type of thing, it would eliminate, it could eliminate those types of communications.
Awesome. So we have one last question, which is our featured question, is what can we as a community do to help?
So first and foremost, we just want to listen to feedback. So, just these discussions. And then also, if you know anybody who is looking for help in their HOAs, specifically with software, let us.
I was impressed you flew the entire company out here to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's goodie bags, if feel free to swipe one if you want. I think it's Steve.
Hit
What's your
escape.
name?
Hit escape.
It is an escape and then
Yeah.
someone else.
Do you have business cards? No. Print some for me too. I have the wrong business cards, so I don't wanna. I'm not
I would
gonna.
make some.
China, and eat delicious.
Yes.
Staples.com.
I mean, how many people would say? well, for a translation that's trying to make things.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
I never noticed that.
We have 3 people.
Yeah, I know.
All right, hello.
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 My name is Tanner.
Hi, Tanner.
Hey, I don't.
How are you?
and I created a website called ChillAdvisor.com. That currently people use to look for the best happy hours in Central Florida. Yeah. That's what it looks like when you go on it. And on it, you're gonna find 7 areas, downtown Wood Park. I drive Business Springs, there's a ton of Business Springs. Totaling about 55 restaurant happy hours. On this website, the goal is to get it to 100 by the end of the year, right? In order to do that, I've done lots of happy hour research, which is very important.
And your liver thanks you.
Because by doing happy hour research, I've learned a few things. Some happy lessons and some sad lessons. Yeah. So I'll start with the happy ones. I learned from happy hour research that happy hours are really, really fun, right? And people love happy hours, especially millennials, based on my research. Right? And happy hours are also a great way to capture emails on the website. People just go leave their emails so they can get updates on happy hour. That's cool. On the sad side, the happy hour promotional business sucks. It really does, because the truth is that there's not enough value for restaurants in it, right? Because it's really hard to make money when you cannot provide enough value. Wait. All that. Doing happy hour research has led me to identify one of the restaurant's biggest problems today, which is, and you probably already know this, but did you know that restaurant staff turnover is over 75%? They just can't keep staff, especially the smaller restaurants, right? And the 3 main reasons I kind of figure out just by being in the industry and going out to restaurants is that most restaurants are very slow on weeknights. So if you can guarantee your staff making money on weeknights, they're just gonna go and find another job and eventually they just leave. Poor guest experiences. You know, you go to Bahama Breeze and now there's a computer on the table when you want something. Why would I go there, right? And low perceived value. When restaurants are telling Uber Eats to deliver their precious cargo, right? Why am I paying $50 for crap, right? So those are huge problems. And obviously, the staff at the restaurant doesn't benefit from any of this. So what's the solution? No. To create high value, targeted culinary experiences exclusive to weeknights. Why not? Let's attach a happy hour to that experience, right? Let's get people out to the restaurants again. And that's not Orlando. It's supposed to be. You can find a photo of Orlando. But actually, my first great culinary experience that I ever had was in New York City, and that's when I thought about the idea, right? And I am calling it prefix dining experiences, right? Exclusive to weeknights, right? Because that's when restaurants need it more. So essentially how it's gonna work is once we work with a restaurant, once we establish a relationship with a restaurant, we will work with restaurants to create prefix menu or culinary experience with that restaurant. Then we move on to create rich media, videos, and so on and so forth, in order to drive traffic to a reservation funnel. And once we have that, then obviously to get those people out to eat, the goal is to generate targeted social media campaigns to boost those reservations, again, exclusive to weeknights. The revenue model for this would be a weekly or monthly subscription, depending on the restaurant, just because their cash flow could be more lending to weekly paying instead of on a monthly basis. And the price will be set based on restaurant needs and wants, right? A basic plan would be for a restaurant that has great social media, right? They don't really need much, right? The premium would be a restaurant that has great social media, but they want the rich media to attract more customers. And the premium plus are those restaurants that you go to and you wonder if they're opening for business, right? They'll need media, they need everything. As far as the pricing, I need help kind of figuring that out. And that'll require some research, but not happy research, just restaurant. I believe this solution, right, will help restaurants retain their front of house, that's front of house staff, right? Because happy servers don't leave restaurants. You ever go to a Disney restaurant everybody's old. They don't leave. You know why? Because they're making money.
Yeah.
Right? So Cinderella scouts people wait 30 years to get a job there just because they're making money. So if local restaurants can do the same thing, they will be able to keep their stuff. Is there competition? Wait. It's
Always.
People are familiar with this. Bike 30 is a little program that Orlando Weekly does. And there's another one that you're probably really familiar with, and it's Visit Orlando's Magical Dining. Now the difference between what they do and what I want to do is that their focus is on helping restaurants on the slow months of the year. My focus is helping restaurants on the slow days of the week. Restaurants don't need money 3 months out of the year. They need money every week. Next. So why not? Restaurants right now are using the services like Uber Eats, DoorDash to increase their revenue at the expense of delivering great dining experiences for their guests and losing staff in the process. Right? That's the reason why you go to a lot of small restaurants on a Tuesday night and you literally, you guys open? Oh yeah, come in, right? And who's gonna want to work there? It's crazy. I am the team. The hand solo team because it's kind of open right now. Now, I'm like a digital media like wizard. I've been in the hospitality industry for about 11 years, so I've seen it in and out from big restaurants, and I know restaurants. I go to a lot of them, so I see a lot of the aspects. And that's it. Thank you so much, and let's see what's going. And yeah, perfect styling. Does anybody have any questions?
Don?
So. On how you're gonna charge these people, and I will tell you. Like owned restaurants, nightclubs, God bless you, man, because I had a friend of mine who developed a text thing several years ago before the zombie apocalypse and drove mad traffic. But getting these people to pay him was great. He had a really tough time to get the restaurants to pay. The real problem in the restaurant, I read a great article the other day where Chick-fil-A has changed the comp plan. They're moving away from part-timers. I think it's brilliant. They're getting away from part-timers and going to full-timers. Right, and giving them real benefits, paying them real salaries. It's half the restaurants in Orlando shut down. They're not, that's not happening. And I think the restaurants gotta change if they're gonna keep people, the way they pay people, because part-timers are just train wreck.
Wait, so to the point, tipped employees get paid about $7 an hour, right? So that depends heavily on traffic, right? So if you're part-time at a restaurant, like I'm in a location at Disney right now, right? That's my home location much, but essentially I get 1 shift a week, right? But each day I work there, I make about $500, right? So it doesn't matter what they pay me. What matters is, and the reason I don't get that many shifts is because the high full-timers get most of it, right? But I don't need a second serving job to support that one. So if you can do the same thing Disney, but you go to Disney restaurant 4 o'clock, you're open, people are coming.
Disney, that's the high tourist scene. Let's drive up and down the street
And
see
that's why
University
targeted.
Boulevard, okay?
Yeah.
And I'll say this, you can all beat me up later. What UCF did on campus, shut down almost every restaurant on University Boulevard because the students didn't have to go out there anymore. They could just go right there at UCF. So if you look at those, Applebee's is gone. I actually like that. All places are gone, okay? And so Disney, to me, is not realistic or a good example. That's why I think the Chick-fil-A idea is so brilliant, is if they're gonna put these people on real payroll, real benefits, they've got a shot at keeping them there longer. Because I'm not going to your restaurant if it sucks.
Rob?
So I think one of the challenges that I see is that you are really set in your idea that this has a lot of great potential. I'm not necessarily saying that it doesn't, but someone who has a lot of experience running restaurants, doing things like that, you got to take into account their advice. I've seen thousands of pitches. And that's the one thing that I think is the biggest danger is that, well, CB Insights backs it up. the number one reason businesses fail is that nobody wants or needs their product. Okay, 40% of the studies that they've done, that's the reason that companies fail. And so I was sitting here questioning before it was even brought up, how are you going to, if you're talking about the lowest value nights of the week for a restaurant, how is a restaurant owner going to justify $100 a month subscription?
I was thinking more 2,000.
There's no way.
So,
There's no,
so,
I mean, if you're gonna go out and be their social media company, then that's a different
No,
story.
not social media at all. It's essentially, each dining experience, as opposed to selling a happy hour, it's gonna be a full dining experience, like a prefix menu, right? So $60.
Okay, so, but hear me out on this. If you're bucking, a century's worth of tradition, that those nights are the slowest nights, how are you going to sell? What story are you going to tell that restaurant owner that's gonna convince them that they're gonna say, okay, you spend $2,000 a month, I'm thinking $100 a month is too much.
Yeah.
And you're gonna spend $2,000 a month, and I'm gonna put, how many meals is it gonna take for them? And how many butts in the seats is it gonna take for them to get that money back? That is a large, because they're making, $10 a head. I don't know. I don't know the restaurant industry. Is it $10 a head per meal?
No, it's about 50.
Well, look,
15?
50, 1250.
Is there?
Where?
so,
Like if you go to like, the restaurants I'm targeting are like Eddie V's type restaurants, Rocco's Tacos. And it's not just a meal, it's a full experience, right? So you get the appetizer.
those places aren't the ones that need the happy hour.
Yeah, they're not really busy.
Because they have a high-end clientele that comes in all hours of the day for their meetings and things like that. The vast majority of restaurants, I used to own a restaurant as well, are the mom and pop places, right? And they're dying on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. And the thing is, just like the last presentation, I didn't see much of the value that you're providing restaurants. Okay, you've got features and benefits, but that doesn't convey into how much time you're saving them, how much money you're saving them, how you're making their life better. Okay, so I would focus on that. And so, yes, I as a former restaurateur, I see a need for, somebody that's coming in and helping us bring in people on those slow nights. Okay, but it's gotta be, it's gotta be cost effective for us. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, I would basically just say, all right, what's your average receipts on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, or whatever, and just, give me a percentage of those receipts in addition to. I don't think $100 a month is bad. I think that's a reasonable expectation, especially if he brings in 15 people on a happy hour on a Monday, they've more than made up that money.
But this is not happy hour, this is, so, visual.
Are you talking about the prefix?
No, that's the research that led me to understanding the restaurant industry, right? But the prefix menus, like Mr. Orlando does it for $40 per person.
Okay, so that's a really bad format of your presentation then, because you started off everything happy hour and you didn't tell us that you were doing something different.
Well, it's gonna be a part of the value offer. People who come to do happy hours because.
I'm just saying your presentation wasn't clear. There's more questions.
Yeah.
Denny?
Steve was first, go ahead. So you had me at ChillAdvisor, because there are times when I'm sitting on my laptop and I'm trying to find a happy hour in town, and I'm like, best happy hour. So you had me at that. I'm thinking ChillAdvisor is an app. I can go on there in any city in America and I can find the greatest happy hours in these communities. And then I just got swerved and like, what happened? I didn't understand how the correlation between ChillAdvisor and your restaurant prefix menu created. I would love to be able to cruise into any town, go on a ChillAdvisor app and find the best happy hours in that town.
The thing is too, is the name ChillAdvisor and then happy hour. Everybody knows happy hour, it's an instantaneous, recognition.
Happy hour.
ChillAdvisor, that was.
Oh, no, like I because I used to do a lot of heavy on social media. I'd be working down Universal Studios. I'm like, oh, well, the ChillAdvisor, the happy hour dude.
Okay.
So it's to me, it's easy to get a message out there, right?
Okay.
And the reason I even thought about this is the love people have for what Visit Orlando does every year. It's like, I love magical dining. And my question was, why do you guys, but they're charging a lot more than 100 a month. Because I already spoke to the
Sure.
cheaper marketing, right? They're charging the restaurants a lot, but the delivery of the offer is, doesn't matter if it's on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Yeah.
I want to do the same thing, but focus only on Monday, Tuesday,
Right.
Wednesday.
But back to the presentation, yeah, you primed us all to be all happy hour
Yes.
based. And then you switched it into something, into the prefix thing. And that, you know, if you are a Shark Tank, oh, this, it would not have been pretty. So, in our guppy tank, you know, we basically, you know, we're basically saying, I would just lead with the ChillAdvisor saying, I started out doing this. And not spend so much time on the happy hour stuff, just basically summarize it into 2 or 3 sentences,
Oh, heard.
right?
Heard, yeah.
So I started doing happy hour stuff and blah, 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 and then I came to the realization that restaurants don't need really happy hours, they just need butts and seats. Okay,
Spend a lot of money.
right, not butts at the bar, they need butts in the seats, okay, and then I would go from there.
That sounds like a great
Denny?
approach.
I think what they're trying to tell you here, you have 2 possible businesses here, commingled, because it's confusing to the audience. The second one, he made a really good comment, you should be charging them a percentage. People are gonna go accept the percentage more than the flat fee, because they don't know how much business you, the better the business they do, the better that you make.
Yes.
So work on a percentage, that's the way to, I think that'll work. If it's a flat fee, there's no.
The only problem with the percentage is it's really hard to.
At the end of the
to
month,
monitor.
okay, then how much was it? Oh, no, I didn't really sell that. That was gonna be before. Fine. I know restaurant, that part of the restaurants, I know them well, and but if you, they are spending this money, right? Plus, how much money does it cost for a restaurant to replace a server?
Right.
About $2,000, right? So it's, hey, you can
Well,
replace
that's
the
a whole other route.
It's
Okay,
more-
Rachel,
but the solution is to make sure servers don't leave.
Rachel,
You did a great job. Of course, there was places that you can improve on, but did you ever consider that maybe that's your demographic as far as your target market as restaurants, but that your product is really the experience and building the community around experiences? Because there are a lot of communities like the Stoic community, like cosplay people, like karaoke people who will literally go, if you create the experience and you have it already curated, and you create a community of folks, they will literally go to your event, wherever restaurant you have it at. So it kind of, what happens is you're promising them something that you can't deliver at the moment. However, if you create the community and people then buy and you're getting 10, 20, 30 people buying every Tuesday, once you switch it to a restaurant, you can show them actual numbers. So, hey, we've already got reservations. We're just gonna switch it to your restaurant this Tuesday. Next week, we're switching it somewhere else. And what happens is you're creating these date nights, you're creating, like you said, these experiences for restaurants, and we all love trying new restaurants.
Yeah, like, so I don't necessarily need to, know,
It's just an idea.
because I can, and that's kind of one of my expertise. I can go, like I used to do social media for, or just videos for a wine shop, right? And I could easily tell Instagram or Facebook, say, hey, I want you to target people between 21 and 35 who live here, who drink Sauvignon Blanc. And I want you to target them between this hour, and do a couple social media campaign test versus each other. And then those people, without knowing me, they, oh, look, I drink wine, I am this age, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of the approach. It'll be for a restaurant, 5 to 10 ad spend a day.
But I think you're getting kind of lost in the whole, like, you're the connector. So you're not providing the wine, the restaurant is, or you're not providing it, you know what I mean? Your money is made in the in-between. So the restaurants have the menus and or things, you're providing the extra, and that's where you make your money. So it's like your real target market is the restaurants, and the experiences the folks will come to if you create the experiences.
okay. So last question is, as usual, what can we as a community do to help you?
If you know of, because I need a pilot restaurant to try this on, right? And it'll be obviously pro bono, try it, it'll be, you know, no expense in the work that I do. But if you know of a restaurant owner that you think would benefit from this, it has to be a full service restaurant. Their PPA has to be over 25, meaning the per person average for a restaurant has to be over 25, and they have to be full service. You know, it won't be charged, but I would want to see the restaurant owner's ability to pay, and if it works, that makes sense for another restaurant. That's kind of what I think would be the
You need a
next
proof
step.
of concept.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah, because, yeah, it doesn't sound.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much. So, we have an announcement. Do we have an announcement?
Deja with Serendipity Lab.
Hey, Deja.
As I just said, my name is Deja, it's like deja vu, is you ever forget it. I am with Serendipity Labs Orlando, we're a premium co-working space off of Orange Avenue, right next to City Hall. Today at 11:30, we're having a lunch and learn, it's a completely free event. We're having lunch and the topic will be on Salesforce optimization. We're actually bringing in a Salesforce expert. I use Salesforce. I don't think I use Salesforce efficiently, so I won't be missing this event personally. Be pretty cool if that's something that you use. I think you'll get a lot of value from it. As far as like Salesforce specifically, but CRM in general, it'll be a great networking experience. I wanted to share that all with you. I will pass out cards at the end if that's okay. In case you're interested in stopping by, they'll be right after this event. And we'd love to have you.
Awesome. We have another,
The ChillAdvisor is open, you guys, you can actually.
Oh, yeah, I've gone through
You can use ChillAdvisor.
Is that your company?
company, I did it with my girlfriend, I used to go on dates, and I never knew like where to go, so I just put a list, and I just made it cool online. Yeah, like with some cards.
Yeah.
I just remind you, I'm doing a workshop Thursday nights to transferring the business from story, passed out flyers last week. Anything, just let me know.
And then you all have a very, very.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah, right.
Sure. Or what time? Or should we just take? There we go. 1, 2.
Just a reminder to, next meeting in January is work.
yeah, next meeting. So no meeting next week or the next week after that.
Can we meet at your house?
It's done.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get it out.
Have to be with them by 11.
You ever just,
How come it's not showing up? Okay, well, just, we're having an event next Monday night. For those of you who don't know, it's called Orlandopreneur. For some reason, it's not showing up on Meetup, when I search for it. But in any case, it's for the startup community. And so we're trying to get equal parts entrepreneurs, service providers, and investors. And we've got a good mix of all three. The first drink is on us, or first beer is on us. It's at Gatlin Hall Brewing. And so if you go out to meetup.com, you should be able to find it.
How do you spell it?
what's it called?
It's at Gatlin Hall Brewing, and it's Orlandopreneur. Okay,
It doesn't come up when I search.
It's spelled different.
it has to be Orlando.
Who's the organizer? Is it one?
VJ and I are the organizers. Oh, here we go. I had to put a city in there. I don't know why it didn't come up. So this is it. And so far we have over 200 RSVPs so far. So 211.
What's the event gonna be? I mean, is there gonna be speakers? Are there gonna be?
Yes, so we have one speaker right now, but we still have to solidify that. But the goal is to have 2 speakers, and we're gonna have an interactive element as well. Because we don't want to have a meetup or a get together that's typical. Okay, we want something that you come away with having value. Okay. And so obviously the networking value is definitely there. But we also want it to be a fun a fun experience as well as a learning experience. And so that's basically what we're at.
It's all on wait list now, but what?
Well, we're trying to bring in more sponsors so that we can, you know, pay for more beers, basically, yeah.
How many people will the brewery hold?
Hundreds, yeah, no problem, yeah.
I just got an email this morning about it, about the name tag idea,
Yes.
which is great, and we should have it here. But I don't know who to talk to about that.
But what do you mean have it here? What are you talking
Just
about?
that we all have a name tag with a QR code.
Oh, well, there's work that needs to be done in order to do that, but talk to VJ, he knows more about that than.
You talk to him, you know him better than I do.
So in other words, you can join the wait list, show up and don't get a drink.
Well, what we're trying to do is we have enough sponsors, we have no wait list.
Yeah,
Right.
it's that possibility, what he's saying though, that's
Uh-huh.
interesting.
Yeah,
I don't drink, so then I'm on the wait list.
so we're, okay, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to personalize everybody's name tags. So we want you to come there, get your name tag, that's gonna have a QR code. So people can come up to you and go to your LinkedIn page or download your contacts immediately, right? Plus, we're gonna gamify a few other things, so,
Very cool.
okay. So that's basically it, guys. Thank you for
Next.
Thank you for staying. Everybody have a wonderful holiday season.
Christmas.
Happy New Year.
So,
Thank you.